Ah! Damn it. I was in the middle of making a drink. Can you at least, teleport that up here with me?
No.
I'm almost positive that you can.
Well, fine. I could, but I won't today. Because today I need you to tell me about the Anti-Saloon League. It's part of Prohibition.
I know what it is! Alright.
Good. Then tell me you can tell me all about it, and then you can go back to your stupid bar.
Fine. Most people are aware of the prohibition of alcohol in the United States in the early 20th century. Some people have heard of the Anti-Saloon League and its connection to the story. Very few people know the true story of the Anti-Saloon League. It's easy to brush off. Well, duh, that's where cowboys go to drink their whiskey, and obviously during Prohibition, those places had to go. But that's just it. It was only the cowboys. There were no cowgirls allowed. There was no women were allowed in any bar, and it wasn't just the social stigma of like, oh, it's unladylike to drink. They were flat out not allowed on the premises of any of these places. Saloons of the day were a monolithic edifice. Men-only clubs where the mayor and the sheriff and landowners may all be seen drunkenly cooking up ways to make financial gains and power grabs at the expense of everyone else. And these places were a situation. Drinking culture was ridiculous back then, and this is coming from me. The menfolk would leave work and go straight to the bar until long after sundown, getting pissed drunk and pissing away every last penny that they made that day. Men were basically the only ones allowed to make money back then, so that really threw a monkey wrench into a lot of households. And if the lady of the house didn't like it, tough shit. You'd be like, let me in there, I need to have a word with my husband. Read the sign in, no dames allowed. Please, my children are starving to death, Elmer needs to come home. Well, maybe we'll leave a note for him. Now beat it, nosy broad. And that was it. Well, back to poverty we go, I guess. A lot of women viewed it as a monolithic industrial enemy that was blighting their lives, and they were right. And keep in mind, this was actually well before women could even vote. So outside of guerrilla warfare, they didn't really have a lot of options to bring about change. Thus, the Anti-Saloon League was born. Now, it's important to note that I'm very against prohibition. I think that it's dumb and that it never works. And when you tell people they can't get fucked up off of certain shit, they will find a way to get fucked up either off of worse shit or turn to crime to supply that shit, which usually fucks up even more shit. Fuck that. I have a healthy relationship with drugs and alcohol. Matter of fact, my doctor just recently upgraded me from functioning alcoholic to high functioning alcoholic. Now, he doesn't know how much I drink because I lie about it, but he did prescribe me medical marijuana because I lie about a lot of other stuff too. It's my firm belief that if people are properly educated and substances are properly regulated, people should be able to do whatever they damn well please. But that doesn't mean I disagree with what the ASL was trying to do. The prohibition of cannabis was a straight up dick move. And later the prohibition of psychedelics was an even bigger dick move. Old Tricky Dick Nixon. Now imagine if there were huge cannabis country clubs that only rich dudes could attend. Big, sexist, probably racist places where dope fiends gather to commit ritual acts of perversion while maintaining a stranglehold on the local government and economy. Now see, that would be a just foe to engage in battle. Your heart would very likely be in the right place if that was a machine that you chose to rage against. Even if you enjoy marijuana, even if you didn't, but were acutely aware that by itself it was no threat to anyone. However, a grassroots push to topple these organizations could potentially get lost in the weeds, and could end up turning off the public to marijuana as a whole as almost a side effect of the entire process. Throwing the bourbon out with the baby water, as it were. Big movements like these can get messy. The Anti-Saloon League may have succeeded in dismantling the colossus that was the saloon industry, but many factors along the way led to the decade-long prohibition of all alcohol in the USA, which was a disaster that put even more power into the wrong hands, and a violation of our God-given right to get all hooched up on sweet lady booze. But it was a wild pendulum swing that eventually brought the needle back to center. Now, rather than the anarchy of unbridled commerce, or the horrors of enforced sobriety, we live in a world of balanced regulation. You just have to be 21. Businesses are held accountable for over-serving. You can't drive while you're half in the bag. And most importantly, women are encouraged to hang out in bars rather than being turned away. The prohibition of substances and booze and stuff, it never works out and it's bad. But prohibiting certain people from certain things just based on who they are is even worse.
very interesting. I've never thought about it like that.
Well, yeah, no shit. Can I go home now, please?
Right. Okay. See you soon.
Great. Wait, how soon?